Hey turkeys, this is Dan and Margie. We're the Gen-Xers and welcome to the big show. Thank you for joining us.
Yes. Please hit like and subscribe. And thank you to all of you who tuned in for last week's show and for our new subscribers. Welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Now look, Margie, people expect me to start this show out a certain way. Friendly, top of the morning to you, optimism.
Right.
That's how people associate me.
Yes.
Especially with not this week, buddy. This week in entertainment, well, first of all, let me set this up, people. We play classic World of Warcraft because we're classic people. And this is Margie's first time around. The first time I played it and you made fun of me for playing World of Warcraft.
I did.
Now you play more than me.
Yes.
And you love it, which
Yeah.
is fun for me because I get to experience all this stuff with you again. And one of the things I was looking forward to experiencing with you in Mists of Pandaria Classic, they're not including looking for raid in Mists of Pandaria, which I was looking for, which means you can just queue up for the raid, which is the big in content, without spending 3 hours getting a bunch of sweat lords and trying to get their approval that you're good enough to go in their little thing with them. It drives me nuts.
Spoiler alert, I'm not. Okay, so that's not an option for me.
Doesn't matter.
I'm not good.
By the time they'll let you in, you've got to have gear so good it doesn't even matter anymore. That the gear in there.
It's
You know
just
what I'm saying?
redundant.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I could go on and on about this. It's just huge disappointment. Blizzard, Mr. Blizzard, is that who was the CEO of this thing?
Sure.
Blizzard?
Yes.
If you happen to see this, reconsider, Mr. Classic Blizzard people
Please.
and Mrs.
I'd like to see these raids I hear tell of
Yeah, I mean,
all the time.
we have a small 5-people guild. So, you know, people say join one of these raiding guilds where you've got to have a spreadsheet in front of you. You've got to be marking out your calendar for 3 months ahead of time for content that, frankly, I did and isn't that hard. For you people that think you're hot stuff on a silver platter for doing these raids, if you gamed in the 80s and you could do one level on Super Mario Brothers, you could do any raid in World of Warcraft. Believe you me. If you can beat Princess Peach on that ice track in Mario Kart 64, everything in World of Warcraft is a cakewalk to you.
We've not yet begun to rant this week because we are going to be talking about healthcare here in a little bit.
Oh, my blood pressure is up already, so this is probably...
You're going to have to take one of your pills.
Yeah.
Okay. We also lost someone that we love, and that's Sly Stone.
Yeah.
Yesterday, we lost Sly Stone. Great music. He was a great musician. He was much like Prince, and I know Prince took a lot of inspiration from him, along with many other musicians were inspired by Sly Stone. He was a prodigy of a musician. He could pretty much pick up just about anything and play it. And he was a master at blending genres. He actually started out in gospel and blended a whole bunch of things together and came up with the funk sound that is very unmistakably the Family Stone. And he was just really great. So I was sad to learn that we lost Sly Stone yesterday. But go out and listen to his music because it's good and you'll like it, and you should.
Funk legend, him and Bootsy Collins, and some other folks built the foundations. Yeah, love his music. Huge influence on Prince, which is my all-time favorite. And just go back and watch some of his performances on YouTube. Great live, too. Excellent, excellent stuff.
This was his, he wrote a memoir that came out in 2023, I believe. And one of his quotes in the memoir just, I think, is really cool and says a lot about just how he was. He said, "I don't want to get in people's way, and I don't want them to get in my way. I just want to play my songs. I would do it for nothing." That tells you, like, he was just really into his music, and he just wanted to share it with everybody.
That's how I feel about this podcast. Now, please hit like and subscribe.
Right.
Yeah, we're old school people. We like old school music, old school wrestling. That's my favorite genre of anything.
Old
Music,
school?
movies. Yeah, old school.
Old school, yeah.
We recently ran across an article because, we're always doing the research for our generation on what it was like for life before the cell phones. And because we can't think of that in our own selves, we have to read these articles and see. But we thought we'd react to it, take a look, and just talk about it. Was life better before the cell phone? The pros and the cons. Okay, Margie, while scouring the internet in search of articles and information of use to Gen-Xers, I came across this article about the pros and cons of life before cell phones, according to boomers and Gen-Xers like us. This is according to the website Upworthy, and if you know anything about that website, it seldom is. Upworthy, that is.
Right. Got it. All right. So let's talk about this first point that they make. Not having your youthful stupidity recorded and broadcast, or, dear Lord, even shared with everyone on every platform.
True.
I am so glad that my stupidity was not recorded, because there would have been quite a few moments that I would have regretted. I still regret those moments now, but it's not filled with the regret of, oh my gosh, everybody has seen this will live forever on the internet, or whatever, or, you know, it was recorded and sent to my mother, or whatever, you know. So I would say definitely that is a definite pro.
I think I would have been a viral sensation.
You think so?
Yeah, I would be rich by now. I'm happy posting my stupidity as an older adult, though,
Right.
for everyone to see.
Right. People enjoyed more face-to-face interaction. Absolutely true. And a pro and a con at times.
Enjoyed is a strong word to use there.
Right. Had to. Required. People were required to have more face-to-face interactions. So yeah, it went both ways. It was a pro because you got really good at having face-to-face interaction. You could schmooze a little. You could, make things go a little bit easier if you were good at face-to-face interactions. If you were not so good at face-to-face interactions, or hated them, or had to interact with somebody that wasn't your favorite person, it could be frustrating, to say the least. But it was something that we had to do.
I mean, it can be hard and it can be uncomfortable, and we seem to be a world, I won't just say this, I mean, not just this country, every country almost, it seems like, pretty much everyone, seems to want to do anything they can to avoid anything uncomfortable. And that's not always the best, it's healthier to have more face-to-face interaction. It just is.
Well, and it's healthier to be uncomfortable at times. That is how we learn as human beings. When we're in those uncomfortable moments, it makes us think of ways to make those moments more comfortable. And thus, we start inventing and critically thinking and problem solving and making decisions and all those things that make us better as human beings.
Yeah, and when you're looking at someone face to face, it's harder not to see them as a human being. And a big part of our problem, I contend, with all the division these days, is that we don't see a lot of our fellow humans as humans. They're just someone on the internet to be opposed to and who is the enemy. When that's not the case. Right. It's just not reality, Right.
And even those worst parts about people that are displayed on the internet, you're only seeing that one worst part. You're not seeing maybe the 99% of the great parts that they're not putting on the internet. Most often on the internet today, we get the extremes. We either get the, oh, look, this man came back to his dog after 7 years and the dog just went crazy. Or, look, this person's like beating these people all up. Like, those are the extremes that we get a lot of. So it is hard to see people as human.
Especially on social media, where you go in there to be pissed off. A lot of times it seems people do. And you feel like your voice is amplified way more than it is. You post your little thing, you get 10 likes from everybody that already agrees with you anyway, and you feel like you've really accomplished something. Brother, you ate!
Yeah.
How was that gravelly voice?
It was good. Intimidating. Were you wanting to be intimidating?
No, I was wanting to be inspiring, like Mickey.
Oh, okay.
Get up, you son of a bitch! Because Mickey loves you.
So we had more freedom, and I've read this article, and I know what they're talking about. What they're talking about is when we, when we used to leave the house or go to work or go on a walk or go shopping or whatever, there were moments when you couldn't reach us. We were
Blessed moments.
unreachable. When you were not available, you couldn't get a call from work. You couldn't get a text from mom. You were just unavailable. You were out on a walk. And that was wonderful.
I've basically missed the phone thing in a lot of ways. I have my phone. Mostly I use it to text you if you're at work and I'm home or something like that. I don't read the news on it. I don't do the social media on it. Hardly anything. So thank God my sort of interest in technology stopped at the laptop, I guess. But I see so many people, they cannot be in life because they're looking at their phone while life is going on around them, right?
Yeah.
And buddy, I love to have those moments where no one can get a hold of you. People need that, I think. We do not need to be getting a hold of or have the ability for work, especially work or the government or bill collectors to get a hold of us 24/7. There needs to be moments where God himself can't get a hold of us if he wants to.
Yeah. And it results in the kind of frantic anxiety, stress induced lifestyle that a lot of us are living right now. When you are reachable, and trust me, people will reach you. We have no patience to wait until the next morning anymore. But when you are constantly reachable, you're constantly working. You're constantly having to be on. Who's getting a hold of me? Who's doing this? So you're never able to truly relax. All right. So one of the cons is that there was lots of waiting around for people to call, according to this article. Doesn't sound like a con to me.
No, I already knew no one was going to call. At least no ladies. My friend Jay might call, but otherwise he usually just walk up.
Well, and here it says lots of waiting around for people to call. And I think as far as cons go, life before cell phones, like that is what people focus on. We had to wait. You have to wait to find out what the name of that actress was on that show. You can't, you gotta wait to find out, how your friend's doing after their doctor's appointment, because you gotta wait until the next morning to call. Yeah, the waiting really seems to get people irritated nowadays, and I have no problems waiting whatsoever.
It's just a matter of what you get used to, I guess. Like, I remember first getting on the internet, and we were probably like 25 or 26 or older. I think we didn't even have internet in our own house. They were like 30.
Yeah, we were I was close to 30 before I really started using it.
I can remember the loading screen on a game or whatever taking forever, and I'd be like, oh, hey, yay, this is amazing new technology. Now, if it takes over 1 second, I'm like, my gosh, it's taking forever. But I'm working on it. I'm trying to get back that. And with a lot of regular life, I do have patience. But there are some things, technology-wise, I've gotten used to where I don't have patience that I'm working on.
Yeah. We all need to have more patience for a whole lot of things, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So here it says there was less safety and ease when traveling, which is true in a lot of ways. But I do want to hit upon the traveling thing, which was better before cell phones in general. You talked about this previously, how you've looked around at, when we're at events or concerts or whatever, and you're looking around and 90% of the people around you are doing this rather than watching the concert or talking to their friends or making eye contact or whatever. We had a summer trip that we made every summer, usually 2 trips. We'd go see one set of grandparents, and then we'd go see our great-grandparents. Mm-hmm. So we went to Arkansas, and we would go to Oklahoma every summer. And when we went, you visited, because it took doing to get there. Like you didn't spend time on your games, on your phone, on your whatever. You sat in the living room and you talked to your grandma because we spent time getting here. So yeah, there was I mean, yeah, were we as kids forced to participate sometimes? Yes. But I'm glad we were forced to participate, because without that, I wouldn't have been as close to my grandparents as I was.
But it was also an event because you couldn't FaceTime all the time.
Right.
I will agree with this one though, but I was horrible at reading a map, and it made me not want to travel places sometimes that now I would, because my phone is just telling me where to turn.
Back in the day when we were traveling, you didn't have a phone to make an emergency call should you need it, and there were times when we needed emergency help.
If you broke down, you walked to the nearest payphone. That could be across the street. That could be a couple miles, yeah.
Or you walked to somebody's house and knocked on the door. For God's sake, don't do that today.
Yeah, and hope they weren't Ted Bundy.
Right. I remember several times pulling out our atlas, which was about the size of the land it represented.
Yeah, it would cover up the whole front windshield of your car, so you couldn't see anything anyway.
You had to stop, pull over, pull out the atlas, open it up, and try to figure out where you had turned wrong an hour ago and how do we get back on track here. So, I mean, it did make traveling an adventure. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
It was quite the adventure.
Overall, Margie, more pros or more cons?
You know, I'd have to say there were more pros to not having cell phones for me. We, you know, as Gen-Xers, we kind of landed right in the middle of, you know, being without tech and suddenly being with all the tech. And I do have to say, I am kind of a fan of the no to little tech. Although I will take Google Maps. Thank you very much.
I agree. All right, Margie, if life on social media has got you down, rest assured that our health insurance does not have you covered.
Companies issued more than 49 million denials in 2021.
Today, nearly 1 in 5 claims are denied.
Despite countless headlines and reports pointing to a rise in health insurance claim denials, the system's fragmented nature makes it hard to get an exact count.
Health insurance in general has been in the news again. Ours is the one that shall not be named, but they're being sued by their investors. They're being investigated for Medicaid fraud. It's insidious and horrible what these people do. Meanwhile, I was watching Cops with my father-in-law yesterday, as one does, and this dude got arrested for trying to go to the bathroom without his shirt off, and yet these people are letting people die, ripping people off for who knows how much money, and...
Bad boys, what you gonna do?
Yeah. Health insurance in the United States, for anybody who's watching outside the United States, is a total nightmare. It has become so ineffective as to be actively dangerous for its patients. And that is the opinion coming from about 9 out of 10 doctors here in the United States who are saying it is broken. We need to fix it.
Nearly all doctors surveyed by the American Medical Association said that prior authorization requirements have delayed access to necessary care.
Well, I did a poll here on YouTube on our community post, and we didn't get a lot of responses, but it was just, are you happy with your health insurance? And no one answered yes.
I mean, that's pretty much the sentiment countrywide. I can't think of a single person who could tell me that they're happy with their insurance.
It's just impossible. We're dealing with it. We've got family members dealing with it. Our doctors, my rheumatologist is frustrated with it. Like, it takes forever to get a medicine approved to try for the, the RA. We've talked about this before. The one I'm on now that just got approved after months of denial isn't even the one he wanted to give me, and it's the one that's least likely to work. Also happens to be the least expensive one, so that's the one they...
Surprise!
Yeah.
Doctors say over and over again that it is the insurance companies who are using delay tactics that are putting their patients' lives literally at risk through things like peer reviews and blanket denials. They're just making it not work for their consumers, for the people who are purchasing these insurance plans.
The delays are unreal. Yeah, it's just deny, a lot of those. if you can't do that, delay it as long as you can and hope the person passes away before you have to pay anything.
These companies are using what's referred to as prior authorization much more aggressively than they were back then. I knew that people were not getting the care that they need. People were dying prematurely. They were suffering in pain. I now write a newsletter called Healthcare Uncovered.
So many doctors agree this system is broken. I'm going to read you something from an article by Dr. James Elsey, who wrote this article for the ACS Foundation, which is the American College of Surgeons. And he wrote this article fairly recently. It was within the past month or two. He wrote, currently the U.S., compared to similar Western countries, has the lowest life expectancy at birth, the highest reported maternal and infant mortality, highest hospitalization rate from preventable causes, highest death rate for avoidable and treatable conditions, and highest chronic disease burden rate in the world. He goes on to say, in essence, we are spending more than any other civilized country in the world and getting markedly worse results. And he says, we would not accept that from any other producer of services or goods. If we were paying more than every other country, yet getting worse and worse results, surely we're going to be looking into that soon to see why that is and maybe fix that.
Sounds like the higher education system.
And what I'm seeing is now that the insurance companies are upping their antics regarding delay tactics, now medical centers, hospitals, and doctors' offices are also upping their delay tactics. And I feel like it's not because they want to. I feel like it's because they're having to wait and struggle with these insurance companies. So, for example, if I call my doctor's office, sometimes I'll get a person, but often not. Often it is a cycle of a phone bank that I'm just keep tapping numbers into, hoping to get to somebody, but only to be led to another automated voice.
Ali Rogan explores how at least one major health insurance company is using artificial intelligence to assess and often deny claims in bulk.
As somebody in our family, I made a lot of the medical appointments for our girls when they were young. So I remember what it was like back then, and it's completely different now.
Well, that could just be because so many things are automated now that, yeah, a lot of times it is just a big runaround with everything.
Investigative journalists at the nonprofit ProPublica found that the health insurance company Cigna uses an automated system that allows it to instantly reject claims on medical grounds without even opening the customer's file.
I have a friend, just to illustrate how ridiculous this system is and how it leads to, or could lead to, great harm and possibly death for patients. I have a friend who went to a wedding. She went to catch the bouquet, slipped, and fell back and directly on her head and hit her head on a concrete floor. Kablamo, right? She goes to the hospital, very wisely goes to the hospital after that because she was like, I hit my head, I need to be monitored. And the ER doctor requested an MRI, or I think it was an MRI or a CAT scan, one of the two. My friend had to wait 2 weeks for approval from health insurance company, shall not be named, but you guys know the name of the health insurance company. I bet you do. But that health insurance company made her wait for 2 weeks before they finally approved. They sent her a letter that said, you can go get your MRI now. 2 weeks after her fall. That is supposed to be monitored immediately until you are out of danger. She could have had a concussion. She could have had a cracked skull. She could have had a bleed on her brain. She could have died. But that health insurance company made her wait for 2 weeks.
If it kept her from catching that bouquet, it was worth it.
Insurance companies say that this process helps reduce the cost of expensive treatments.
ensure safety, and lower the total cost of care. But what it's actually doing is creating a lot of expensive bureaucracy. The U.S. spends about $35 billion a year on the administrative costs of prior authorization.
All right, so we have some real tips for real people like you who are navigating this system like we are. Unfortunately, we can't change it for you, but we can give you hopefully some things that might help you. Number one, keep a medical binder. Take it with you to your appointments. It's a good way to consolidate all of your healthcare issues and to maximize time with your doctor. So I would keep a medical binder. I would also ask for itemized receipts anytime you receive any sort of medical procedure, office visit, of course, hospital visit. Get an itemized receipt. And a lot of medical facilities are doing this regularly now because people are asking for it. Seek financial assistance if you need, and we'll have a couple of links down below if you need to contact USA.gov or HSRA.gov to help you find financial assistance, to help you apply for insurances, and to understand your options. And take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. The onus is on us with this crappy healthcare system. I mean, it's always on us to take care of ourselves, of course. But really take care of yourself. Spend time meditating, exercise. If you don't have enough money to visit the dentist, but you can go get a cleaning, go get a cleaning. Just anything to kind of help you take care of yourself, because this healthcare system ain't gonna do it for you.
I say best advice is stick your head between your legs and kiss your ass goodbye, because, yeah, no one else is coming to save us. One thing, I know some of you got good health insurance and you're going to comment below, hey, you losers with it, but most of us, we're not happy with it. Let's face it. So good for you, and I'm glad, go ahead and comment because I'm happy for you, but most of us have health insurance that, yeah, are doing all these shady tactics to keep from doing anything. And taking care of yourself is not easy, Margaret, because all of the delicious food out there is so ultra-processed, much of it banned in other countries. That works both ways, though. We ban food from other countries, too, and sometimes that's more political or economic than actually bad food. But a lot of the stuff we put anything in our food, it's not the salt that's getting you, it's not the sugar, it's not the fat, it's the words you can't pronounce in there.
Yeah.
That's getting you, and also making it so delicious, like those Funyun Lay's potato chips. I can eat 10 bags of those in a row.
Oh, yeah.
But then I feel it the next day, like having this rheumatoid arthritis, I feel immediately the effects of what you eat has on your body. Because if I eat too much sugar, processed foods, next day my joints are not good.
Yeah.
But again, they don't make it easy because they're so much cheap, delicious, ultra, like, I can't remember what they call it, this ultra processed food they make, super palliative or something. They make it to be addictive for you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that is another way that you can take care of yourself, by eating as many good foods as you can. And luckily, a lot of the really good foods, like rice, beans, stuff like that, fruits and vegetables, especially now in the summertime, if you can go to a produce stand, they are cheap. So you can go get those cheaper than Funyuns, although will we pay extra for Funyuns? Yes, we will.
You better grow it yourself, brothers and sisters, because you don't know what they're spraying on that either.
That's right. And let's give, we gave some tips for people like us out there, but I also want to give some Gen-Xer specific tips for you guys if you really want to take it hardcore to the healthcare system. Let's do that.
Yeah, we recorded this the other day. Here's my real suggestions. Hit it.
That doesn't hurt. Don't be a wuss.
Heard that one a lot. Quit being a baby is also similar.
Good one. Man up.
I stand behind that. More of these ingrades need to man it up every once in a while.
Oh, yeah?
Walk it off.
Yeah, you tried walking it off?
I've tried to walk off this rheumatoid arthritis for 6 years now.
You're not walking hard enough. Well, how about rub some dirt in it? You tried rubbing some dirt in your rheumatoids?
Every baseball injury, yeah, we rubbed some dirt in it, and it worked.
Right.
You want me to cut it off? Like if you had burnt your finger or had an itch or something, your dad would threaten to cut your whole arm off because of it.
Yeah. Really put things into perspective.
It certainly did, yeah.
Well, what about, did you spit on it yet?
Yeah, I've seen that one. One my mom used quite a bit. I'll give you something to cry about. Boy, would she.
Yeah. Well, all this would eventually end in let me see what it is. And then usually we're going to have to go call your mom.
Sure.
Yeah. But let's talk about when all that didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's, when all that somehow did not work to help us, we did have medications back then.
That's true.
So this is the Growing Up Gen Xers medication guide. We used a lot of ACE bandages.
Sure.
But mostly only to make up for the lack of orthopedic surgery.
Sure, yeah.
You just slap a ACE bandage on there and you're fine.
And a shout out to Chris Rock for this one, but it was true. You'd rub some tussin on it.
Yeah.
Some Robitussin, take a drink of that. Or even worse, I had bronchitis for 6 months one time, and every night my mom would pour me a big old glass of Mogan David jug wine. Put me to sleep.
Put you right to sleep. Didn't cure that old pneumonia you had, but
Nope.
it put you right to sleep.
Still got it.
Still slept comfortably.
Oh, yeah. Very good.
How about some Vicks Vapo Rub? Did she try that?
Yeah, we'd rub that on every once in a while. More preventative than anything.
Right. Speaking of preventative, how about some Flintstones vitamins? Theirs was some preventative health for you.
I could still taste them. They were delicious. They were like candy to me. I probably ate way too many that was healthy for you.
Yeah.
One thing that my grandma would always do is anytime I had a stomach ache from a small one to puking my guts out, she would force some 7-Up and saltine crackers or Sprite down my throat.
Right.
Whether I felt like eating it or not.
Right. Yeah. Chicken noodle soup, if you were actually eating.
Sure.
That might be shoveled down your throat. That'll cure you. And of course, very famous for not having one single solitary ounce of medication in it, Luden's cough drops.
Again, very dessert. You could have that for dessert after those Flintstones vitamins and wash it down with some Pepto-Bismol. You got a meal.
That's right.
Still, it sounds bad, but still better than the state of healthcare today.
That's right.
Obviously, that's comedy advice. Don't be suing us, people. All right, in my deep research, Margie, here's what I found out from KFF.org. Now, I thought that was Kentucky Fried Chicken at first. I thought, certainly, if anybody knows about healthcare, it's KFC.
It's KFC, yeah.
But no, apparently this is an independent organization who just keeps an eye on this kind of stuff. So I'm going to read these statistics.
Okay.
You tell me if we fit into them, and you all watching, you can put in the comments which ones you fit or not as well.
Okay.
About half of U.S. adults, and you don't have to be from the U.S. to answer these. Let us know from other countries how your health care is. About half of U.S. adults say it is difficult to afford health care costs.
Yes.
Okay?
I agree.
And we do have insurance, but, it adds up. We got high deductibles, co-pays. Like, what is the deal with deductibles? Like, where's my deductible for how much I'm paying a month to the insurance company? Right. I should be deducting them until they're actually doing something for me.
Right. I like how you use that as a verb, to do to someone.
Yeah.
To deduct them.
I am. I'm deducting them right now.
You know what a deductible is?
Tell me.
This is the most amazing thing. People in Europe don't even know what a deductible is. Here it is. I'm your employer. Okay, Ollie, I'm giving you insurance. By the way.
Thank you, Bernie.
Oh, no problem. I'm paying you $12 an hour. Here's your insurance. But, by the way, you're going to have to pay the first $10,000 out of your own pocket.
Our deductible is $500,000 a year.
No. Here in the U.S., not only do we pay to be a part of insurance, so we pay a monthly membership fee, to be a part of this insurance, then we also have to pay a copay each time we visit someplace until we meet our yearly deductible, which is crazy high. Like, we might as well be $1 million.
1 in 4 adults say that in the past 12 months they have skipped or postponed getting health care they needed because of the cost.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'd say. Mm-hmm. About 1 in 5 adults say they have not filled a prescription because of the cost.
That has not happened to me. That has happened to you.
Well, just because the medicine I'm on for my arthritis is unaffordable to a regular person. It's $5,000 to $10,000 a month, which again, that's one of the problems. They're all working together.
You mean we can't swing that?
Unfortunately, not unless you hit like and subscribe.
That's right. About 500,000 of you.
Yes, or more. About half of insured adults, and we haven't even talked about the uninsured. That's a whole different topic. It's bad enough if you are insured. If you're not, then you really do just need to stick your head in between your legs and kiss it goodbye, right? About half of insured adults worry about affording their monthly health insurance premium.
Yes.
About 4 in 10 adults report having debt due to medical or dental bills.
Yes.
We do, yeah. And I mean, it's not horrible. We've paid a lot of it down. And like I said, we have insurance. But even with insurance, it adds up if you have to go a lot, which I do. And I'm on expensive medications. Yeah.
We've had to pay for some large procedures, and they cost a large amount of money. And not to mention how high dental bills are.
Again, that seems like a show all to itself. So when you start talking about dental costs, because insurance usually pays, 10 to 20% of that?
Very little. They used to pay more preventative care, but they've scaled that back. Why? Because it's not profitable, Dan.
This is the one most surprising to me and most alarming. About half of adults would be unable to pay an unexpected medical bill of $500 in full without going into debt. Luckily, we've been there. A lot of our lives we were in that category. Luckily now we probably are not, but
it would be a strain. I'll tell you that,
it would be nothing to sneeze at. That's for dang sure.
Yeah. Well, speaking of health and taking care of yourself and being healthy, how about a nutritious and healthy microwave meal?
I've been looking forward to this all week.
That's right. We are, we're going to talk about microwave cooking and the invention of the microwave.
Fine microwave cooking. Fine dining.
We actually found this not too long ago. The HP Books Microwave Cookbook. My mom actually gave this to me. It was published in 1982 by one Pat Jester, who was, I don't know if she's still alive or not, but she was the guru of microwave cooking. There are several reviews of this by the New York Times, by all kinds of people saying, like, this is the book you need for microwave cooking.
I believe it's been through several editions. It doesn't just give you the recipes, it explains the details of how to work that old microwave like a magician, just like we did in the 80s.
She's right there, Pat Jester. Yeah. But this is we got our first microwave back in the 80s. It was actually invented in the late 70s, but we got ours in the 80s. One of the first prototypes, I guess, to come out of JCPenney. My stepdad went and spent $900 on that. My mom about killed him. But he bought that and he bought this, and he was like, this is the wave of the future, right? And he was right? But this book is great. I mean, it goes through the whole thing. Getting to know your microwave oven. There's a ton of things in here, from how to defrost things, how to reheat things, we're going to go through this book, and we're going to show you a recipe that we took from this book and we actually made in our microwave to show you how you too can have healthy, nutritional meals using only your microwave oven.
We didn't get one until a little later because we were poor, but man, I loved them being a latchkey kid. It just upped what I could have for dinner, so instead of just macaroni and cheese, I could have these big old frozen lasagnas that you would stick in the microwave for about 20 minutes, and with plastic all over it, cooked in plastic, this plastic film over, just say cut a slit in, it'll be fine. You pull it out, and the plastic's burned around the crusty old edges.
Nummy.
It's still a little cold in the middle. You never get rid of that. Oh, I just loved it. It's no wonder we're 50% plastic now, though.
Oh, yeah. And it was the cooking appliance for Gen-Xers because the invisible fire made it safe.
My uncle, the boomer, was afraid of them, would not stand close to it for the longest time, would not eat anything my aunt made out of it. Didn't know what was coming out of that thing. Lo and behold, he was probably right.
I still wonder what's coming out of that thing. Let's see. Welcome to the Gen-Xers Introduction to Microwave Cooking. Welcome to the Gen-Xers Introduction to Microwave Cooking, where we celebrate a very important invention in our lifetimes that spurred a slew of other important inventions, including microwave cooking carts and microwavable food. But before all that, we had cookbooks such as these. This is HP Books Microwave Cookbook, written by Pat Jester, an absolute prodigy in microwave cooking.
This is a classic in the genre.
Classic.
I heard.
Yes, it is. This lady microwaves a turkey, amongst other things. We're not doing that today, however.
This is the War and Peace of microwave cookbooks. You better believe that, brother.
That's right. Go out and get yourself a copy. Oh, you can't, because this was published in 1982. It's no longer in print, I don't think.
I think it's been through many editions.
Okay.
Maybe not this exact one, though.
Right? We'll have to check to see if this book is still in print for you. But back in the day, this was purchased along with our first microwave oven. And it describes everything. It describes how to reheat your food, how to cook it initially, how to reheat it. But we'll talk more about that as we get into our microwave cooking segments. Today, I have displayed here the ingredients that we're going to use in making our dish, Planked Vegetables Deluxe.
Deluxe. Fancy.
Deluxe. And I believe it's deluxe with an E even.
Oh, that's how you know it's real fancy.
Yeah, that's right. So Planked Vegetables Deluxe are what we are making today, using only our microwave oven and these simple ingredients here.
It's just pure vegetable oil. You know that's good.
Right? We have some Salad Supreme seasoning, some French dressing.
The recipe called for salad seasoning. I had to ask ChatGPT what they meant. This is what they said, Salad Supreme.
Right. According to when this book was published, this would be the closest match to what they list.
It would have been this actual
seasoning.
thing, I think.
Salad Supreme, yeah, by McCormick. We have French dressing. We have instant potatoes.
Big old box.
We
Under
have
$2 for that box of potatoes.
That's right. It's a value.
Lasted 6 months.
We also have canned peas and onions. They call for frozen, and we could not find those because the last time they made frozen peas and pearl onions was 1978. So we found cans of peas and pearl onions. We have canned mushrooms. We have a couple of tomatoes, some American cheese slices.
The only unprocessed part of this meal right here.
Right. Well, these right here,
Yeah.
right? But onion salt, ground thyme, egg yolks. We'll be using egg yolks, and we have some tomatoes here. So are you ready? Start with a microwave safe bowl. They also had to invent that as well when they invented the lovely microwave. We have about a two quart bowl. We have 1.5 cups of water in here, about 1/2 cup of milk, and a couple tablespoons of butter. And we're going to microwave this until it's boiling. Do you know how long that'll take, Dan? What do you think, like an hour, hour and a half to make this thing boil in the microwave?
I don't know, maybe a minute.
It's gonna be shorter than that.
Really?
Let's see.
All right. Admit, I have not boiled water in a microwave probably since 8th grade.
We're gonna just put it on for about 3 minutes and see what that does. That should be plenty hot.
I could feel those microwaves coming out there and getting me.
Oh, can you? No, perfectly safe. All right, how long has it been so far? We got about 20 more seconds left.
It's the final countdown. Don't copyright us.
Please.
Europe.
I can hear some popping and crackling. That means it's working right.
Don't grab that with your bare hand.
I will not.
Safety first.
That's right. Grab your pot holders. Then we're gonna pull that out of there. This is kind of treacherous too because this is over the oven microwave. They didn't have those whenever they first came out. You had to get a microwave cart. And that's why there's so many microwave carts in thrift stores today. Anyway.
We've got one of them.
All right, so we have our water, our margarine, and our milk all together here. We're gonna add our package of instant potatoes and we're going to whisk it in right here. I'm just gonna keep on whisking. This is butter flavored, by the way.
Do they have actual butter?
You know, I just don't know. I know it's butter flavored. Is that not good enough for you? Come on now. We're Gen Xers. We grew up with fake butter flavoring.
That's true.
All right, so we're gonna stir that in, and we're also going to add something else that's gonna make it stiff enough to form peaks. And why do we want it to form peaks? To form that the great ridges around our serving tray so that it looks like this. See the edges here?
Indeed.
I originally thought it was made with this.
Uh-oh.
So we went out and bought this, but the more I looked at the recipe, the more I was like, no, those are potatoes. So guess what? We got a free can of easy cheese.
Well, it still has plenty of fake cheese in it.
That's right. So we put the potatoes in there. Now we are going to add 2 egg yolks.
I don't understand this part. Why? But we're going to do it.
Well, this is what makes it stiff. Okay, so first we're going to separate our egg yolks into a different bowl here. Get rid of those egg whites. We don't need those. Okay, I'm just going to pour that in there. Looks like Rocky.
Let's only use the unhealthy part of the egg, the most unhealthy part we can.
That's right. Discard this healthy.
Get those health insurance cards out.
Right. Discard this whatever it is. I guess the non-yolk part.
The whites.
The whites. Much too healthy for us. I'm gonna wash my hands. Okay, and then we're gonna add a little bit of onion salt, but we don't have onion salt. And if you don't have onion salt, you can just use onion powder and a little bit of salt, since we have both of those things. So we're gonna put a little bit of salt in there. We're gonna put some onion powder in here, just like Pat Jester tells us to in that lovely book. And we're gonna put some thyme in here, just a little. And then we are going to mix this up really good. And you know what I bet it's gonna look like when we get done, Dan? Easy cheese.
I think you're probably right, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you can tell it's getting that familiar bright yellow easy cheese coloring.
Give us a like and subscribe if you grew up on canned cheese and you love it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we mixed all that, got these all mixed together, and then we're gonna set this aside. Why? Because this is just one component. We have other components to make.
All right, so Margie, you're getting ready to open up these peas and pearl onions, which I don't ever really remember having, but they were a staple, or you guys used to have them at least?
Yeah.
Did you like them?
You know, I remember eating them as part of a compulsory part of our dinner. So I don't remember really liking them and going, yes, I must have more, but they were okay. Really? They were all right. But yeah, you know, we tried to find these in the frozen food aisle and could not, but I remember Bird's Eye making peas and pearl onions for a long time. And I'm sure they weren't the only ones.
Let's see what these things look like.
Oh yeah.
I like peas and I like onions, so I don't see why I wouldn't like it.
Right? You just put them all in one place. Oh, and this one has mushrooms too.
What?
Just see the little pearl onions in there? Delightful. So we just drained this And we're gonna put it in another microwave safe bowl. Gotta have your microwave safe bowls whenever you're cooking in the microwave. This one already has this one already has mushrooms added, but we're gonna be adding more mushrooms per the recipe. We're going to put some butter in here, and we're going to microwave this for about 2.5 minutes on high.
Oh boy.
Have you ever known anyone to microwave things on low?
I don't know. The book explains why to do it different ways. So.
Maybe we'll run into one as we do this segment more and more, and we'll understand our microwave settings a little bit more. All right, hazards, exploding peas.
We heard some major popping in there.
Yeah, we just have to be careful. That's why we always use our safety equipment, our pot holders or silicone gloves. You want to have those.
Safety goggles for this.
Right. So, let's grab this carefully. We're going to bring it out here.
Getting a view of the carnage.
Right. We're going to open some extra mushrooms here. There we go. I never can get those things, you know. Okay, and we're going to drain.
Sure look pretty draining those mushrooms, Mama.
Well, thanks. And then we're going to add this. We're going to stir it in. Look at that. Oh, the paleness and unnaturality of the mushrooms just makes my mouth water, guys.
Yum, yum.
Unnatural in every way. All right, so you're going to stir that up. And then you're going to set that aside because that's another component of our dish. All right, something we should mention is that you're going to need for this recipe a wooden serving tray or cutting board of some kind. And we have a small one that we just happen to have here. You're gonna need that. And you're gonna need to oil it. That's right.
I've ever oiled a board before. But...
Well, you haven't lived.
I mean, I might be oiling my cutting board every time.
That's right. I'm just gonna brush some oil on here and then we'll spread it out a little bit. I mean, I've never oiled one either, so I'm assuming this is how one does it.
There's probably an OnlyFans page for this.
Probably. Probably. If this is all you want to see, go to our Patreon page. We'll fill it with videos just like this. That's right. Okay.
It's looking good.
Right? Looking pretty protected. I think I'm gonna brush that on with a paper towel too.
All oil that.
That's right. So you want a little bit of oil, right? You don't want it to stick. And we have prepped our board, and now we are going to set it up with some Planked Vegetables Deluxe, the likes of which you've never seen. Now that we've oiled and prepped the board, we are going to cut our tomatoes, which will be the centerpiece of this Planked Vegetables Deluxe, if you will. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut off that part, little teeny tiny bit of that part. We're gonna cut them in half, just like that, just straight in half. We're gonna put them here. We've got tomato plants outside.
I have never, as much as I love tomatoes, I've never had a microwave one, unless you count pizza sauce, maybe.
Well, again, you just haven't lived.
I guess not.
You know what? I never have either. So let's try this together. Okay, so we're gonna place it on our cutting board here in an artful design. I think I'm gonna make it maybe kind of modernist, geometric. In ways, maybe. I don't know.
It's a Picasso.
I have a point of view. I'm just not sure what it is on this plate of tomatoes. Okay. And we're going to bring it in because we need an edge on this, right? Now this recipe says to do this and then pipe, but I think I'm gonna pipe before I place the tomatoes.
Okay.
Okay, I mean, because I feel like this is gonna get in my way. But now I kind of have an idea of where I want my tomatoes. Maybe I'll have it like that. Maybe it'll be a statement piece like that with, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna pipe some potatoes now. I don't know what you're doing with that. Now to assembly. Are we ready?
Oh yeah.
We have a Wilson's decorating bag and a decorating tip, a large one. We've put our potato mixture in there, our potato and egg mixture in there. We're gonna cut the end off here and we're gonna see, whoops, what we can create. This is not as stiff as the picture portrays. Yep, just making blobs. This is supposed to be stiffer than this, but it's really not. But we're just making blollops. Blollops along the cutting board here. Yep. Just blolloping along. Yep. Now I gotta add some more potatoes here. I ran out from all the blobs. Oh. Oh, I dropped some potatoes on the floor. It's easy to do. Why? Because it didn't stiffen up like it said it would. So I'm blolloping it all over the floor. That's okay. You know why? We're going to learn how to do this microwave cooking thing together.
That's right.
You and us. Okay, so we blolloped an outline. Now we're going to blollop some little divisions here, some little dividers to contain our tomatoes and our peas and our mushrooms, all that delightful food we just microwaved. Okay, and we're gonna divide this part. Just, yep, that's gonna hold those peas in there. And let's make a little blollop here and a blollop here. We're just, you know, I'm doing whatever I feel. This is my microwave dish. Oh, veggies. Okay. There you go. There you have it.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. So then I'm going to put my tomatoes in here. So I've dolloped and blolloped my stuff onto the cutting board. And I'm going to put my tomatoes in an artful design here and kind of cover up my mess ups like that. We'll put one here.
Sure.
Right? I think this symbolizes today's world. What do you think?
I think so.
Okay, and then it says we're going to put about a spoonful of French dressing on each of these tomatoes here. So.
They do not make these Gen X openable.
Oh, they don't.
Not if you got arthritis, at least
well,
for me.
They were openable at a time.
When we were younger and more hale.
When we were first Gen Xers, but now that we're older Gen Xers, it's become a little bit more difficult.
Have you ever had microwaved French dressing?
Mm-mm.
Me either.
It's about to be a taste treat.
Yeah, there's a lot of firsts in this.
Right? We're going to shake that up, get all that French, creamy French dreaminess in there. We're going to put about a spoonful on each tomato here. Okay. I'm going to be a little conservative with my spoonfuls. I don't know how that's going to spread in the microwave. Or explode or pop like the peas. We don't know. Let's see, right? Okay. So you're going to do that. And we piped our little wells here, and we're gonna get our peas and put them into these 2 remaining wells of potatoes and hope. The beautiful pea, mushroom, pearl onion that we worked so hard to get in there. We worked so hard to find that for you guys. We are going to give this lovely pea, mushroom, onion mixture a stir, and we're just gonna spoon these into the wells that we've made. Just like that. Just like that. Look at how delightful that looks.
Very precise.
Right. Right? Okay. We're just gonna pile that right in there. And we're gonna pile this right here. I can't wait to try. Here's another little well, oh goodness, on here. Okay, so we have that. And we are going to now cover this, I think, hold on, slotted spoon, cover, and microwave for 4 minutes. See, we have this lovely setup that we are now somehow going to cover in plastic wrap, according to the directions.
The healthiest of covers.
Right. Oh dear God, this is gonna be amazing. I cannot wait. And we are going to cover this up.
This is where I'm going to plug our video, how much microplastics are in here.
Right. A lot more after this recipe, I'll tell you that. I have no idea if this is going to stick or what. But we're going to see. We got to microwave this sucker for 4 to 5 minutes, friends.
Okay. Well, they knew something we didn't back then, maybe. Let's see.
We're going to split the difference and go with 4.5 minutes.
I am become death, destroyer of worlds.
Yep.
We're taking this to your mom's for dinner. We need to tell people that.
Yeah. Yeah, we sure are. And I told her about that and she cannot wait.
It's alive.
Oh my goodness. What have we done? It's not even done yet. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
There's some finishing touches. Okay. It's pretty warm, but it's a wooden board. So it's pretty handy dandy in that you can just grab it. Oh boy. Oh boy. Look at that. You know those potatoes in microwave meals?
Mm-hmm.
They just naturally do that. I didn't know that. Look over here. Looks like potatoes in microwave meals.
It does, yeah.
Okay. We're gonna remove this. Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah.
Look at that steam coming out of there.
Steam rising. And then, to finish it off, we're gonna use some of the McCormick's Salad Supreme.
Right.
1982, been making it at least since 1982. We're gonna do a sprinkle over the whole thing. Okay. Ooh, it looks very colorful. Look at that.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Livens it up, doesn't it? Look at that. Get some Salad Supreme on there. And then we're gonna take, oh no, we're still not done. Then we're gonna take some American processed cheese slices, which they specified.
Only kind of cheese I recognize.
That's right. And we're gonna cut it in triangles because we're fancy. And then we're gonna put these.
I mean, if you're taking this in company, you definitely got to cut it into triangles.
That's right. You gotta look at it. We're making it all pretty. All pretty. And you know what? We're gonna make this guy the odd one out because that's how we are. We're just artistic.
Looks good.
And then we're going to microwave this uncovered for about 45 seconds so this cheese can melt and the seasoning can meld with the rest of our planked vegetables deluxe. Are we ready to check and see
The final product.
the final product? The final, here goes. All right, so we got a Again, this isn't super hot, so it's kind of convenient just to lift it out of the microwave like that. Oh, it didn't melt over here.
Well, that's kind of a
That's okay.
staple of microwave cooking, isn't it? Melted on one side and cold on the middle or other or whatever.
That's why I've always loved it. So here we go, our planked vegetables deluxe. This is the picture.
Okay, compare.
Compare and contrast.
Not bad, not bad.
Not bad. I'll know to add more potatoes next time I make this for our next holiday meal.
Sure, we're gonna have this every holiday from now on.
I think that's the key, is to maybe add more potatoes than you need to make it a little bit stiffer there, so it pipes up real nice. But yeah, there we go.
All right, you ready to try it, Mama?
I'm ready to try. All right, I'm gonna try a bite, and I'm gonna try to get everything all together as God intended. So we're gonna cut a little piece of this tomato. Okay. We're gonna have a little piece of the peas, the mushrooms. Where's a pearl onion?
There was one pearl onion in that can. It should have been called peas and pearl onion.
Pearl onion, yeah, singular. Okay, we're gonna put a little bit of this tomato on there. Look
It
at
doesn't look
that.
half bad.
Look at that.
It doesn't look half good, but
All right, ready? It's kind of just a melange of every flavor
okay.
in your mouth. Like, you can't really pick out one veggie or one taste, really. It's just kind of all together. I bet if I divided it up a little bit, it might be a little bit more distinctive. But this is an interesting concept right here.
It seems to be.
Yeah, the French dressing, the roasted tomatoes.
Yeah, mashed potatoes and peas are just good by themselves.
Right.
Mix them up.
So let me try another bite of this just by itself. Oh, there's a pearl onion. Get it while you can.
There you go.
There was like 2 per can. You know that salad seasoning stuff? A-okay.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. You guys saw it here? You too can make this delicious microwave dish using just your microwave and the book Microwave Cooking by Pat Jester.
All you need is a microwave and grit.
That's right. Lots of grit.
All right, delicious. If you try it at home, let us know how it turned out.
Delicious. Our next recipe is going to be, believe it or not, a cake bread recipe we're going to see if we can do in the microwave. It's for strawberry jam couchen.
You're not going to try the turkey?
No, I'm not going to be roasting an entire turkey in the microwave. No.
All right. Well, I look forward to the bread, and I look forward to seeing you all again next week. Thank you for watching. Please hit like and subscribe if you're so inclined. Next week, we're going to talk about what's wrong with men. I see a lot of YouTube videos about what's wrong with men that end up not even talking about anything to do with actual men.
Yeah, let's bring men into this conversation, shall we?
And also, maybe we'll do a review of Crossroads, not the Britney Spears version. We're talking about the original with the greatest guitar duel of all time.
That's right.